Very good afternoon, Mr. Uday. Before we start, I just wanted to say that Breaking Bad is a series which I loved watching, and I always wanted to do a show called Breaking Bread with DMI, where I would like to invite all the manufacturing heads and CEOs of the industry and do an interview, which has not happened. But today I got the opportunity to host the first episode of Breaking Bread with DMI, and my first guest, I would like to introduce you, Mr. Uday Narang, uh, chairman of Omega Seiki Mobility. And to start our discussion, Mr. Uday, Omega Seiki Mobility will set up two plants in South with $200 million investment. Can you talk us more about that? Because
First of all, I want to thank Meshmix for all the great work that you have been doing in the manufacturing space. We need publications, we need leaders like yourself talking about manufacturing in India. So, thank you very much for
thank
giving
you.
me this opportunity. Um, Great to be in the city of Bangalore. It is such a wonderful city. A little bit less traffic, and I love it even more. But it's so much greener and cleaner. And I hope this country becomes more and more greener and cleaner. But coming back to you, look, OSM has been expanding very, very rapidly um, across this nation. The South is a very big market for us, and we believe that whether it is Karnataka or Tamil Nadu, even Kerala, the adaptation towards green energy sustainability is much higher.
Okay.
So we are looking to put projects. We are in final discussions whether it will be in Tamil Nadu or Karnataka. We think that there are pros and cons of both those states, and I think in a very near future we'll be announcing. We've talked about putting up a mega facility, the world's largest three-wheeler facility. We are in the middle of a fundraise, so absolutely we are going to be putting up a facility because we believe that the growth and the opportunities, and the biggest part is the adaptation of people here, of new technology and green energy sustainability is very high.
Is India ready for electric vehicle? This is what I wanted to ask you. Is India ready for the electric vehicle and all?
India
Yeah.
is way past ready. I'll
Okay.
tell you why. Um, we have the youngest population in the world. We have the largest population in the world. We have the most technology savvy people, especially in the south of this country. Um, I think if you look at the statistics, already in three wheelers, 52% of three wheelers are electric. And I think two wheelers have same. I think over the next 5 years, you are going to see a very large part. I know Niti Ayog, Amitabh Kant, who's now become G20 Sherpa, he's talking about 100%, I think, 60 to 70% of three wheelers and 60 to 70%, or maybe more, of two wheelers are going to be electric. People are saying the future is electric. I say the current part is electric. And I think where manufacturing goes, where the leadership of this country goes, whether it's at the top, whether it's the great work that Honorable Transport Minister Gadkari is doing. Look at all the infrastructure that is being built in this country. EV and alternate energy is absolutely going to be a big part of the mix. It's great to hear. Even Hyundai announced $85 billion worth of investment in this space. There is not an automobile company in this country that is not talking about electrification. So, yes, sir, there is definitely going to be a bright future for this business, not just for OEMs, but supply chain, manufacturing. I welcome manufacturers in the automobile industry to come and join us in this journey. When we joined the journey 5 years, 6 years ago, it wasn't like this. Today, everywhere, the talk is there. Every state, every city is talking about it. And it's not just talk, it's the need of the hour.
Correct. And I was just looking at the website of yours and I saw an interesting product in two wheelers that is called Fear, I guess. And it says coming soon. So before you launch and all, I wanted to understand what sort of vehicle you are bringing under two wheeler and what is the current progress of that product.
We have multiple projects in two wheelers. The one you saw on the website is multiple products in R&D.
Okay.
We've come up with Fiera, but we've also come up with um, you know Mopedo, which does which can carry up to six people, can carry load. We are building products both But the focus of OSM is tier 2, 3, 4 cities. Semi-rural, semi-urban, and rural India is where I think the battle is going to be won and lost. We're opening up dealerships, service centers in these places. In two-wheelers, we are building two-wheelers for the rural area. See, everybody cannot be driving the Olas or the Aethers. They build fantastic products, but I think there's a market where I think you want to build products. We built Shark. We've built, we're building up Mopedo. We've also bring high speed under Loose, which is completely Korean technology. We bring the products that you've talked about. There's going to be a mixture of both high speed, high quality for the urban market and the young population. But there's going to be a very large amount of products like Mopedo, Shark, and many others that are going to be done for tier 2, 3, 4 cities. In England we say different horses for different courses, and in India it's such a diverse country. You've got to have products which are not in the 1 lakh 50 or the 1 lakh 60 branch, which are in the 70 between from the 60 to the 80,000 level.
And in three wheelers, you have recently launched your new product, Rage Plus. Can you talk us more about that product?
We have today India's largest range of three wheelers. We've just launched, we have Rage Plus 125, we have Rage Plus 85, we have fast charging, we have Swap. We are just going to come in the next month in 15-minute fast charging with Exponent, which is a Bangalore based company. We are also going to be doing very significant work in passenger. We just launched Stream, which is already across the country. We are doing Stream City, which will be in Bangalore, which will be in Delhi, which will be in Mumbai. See, the key part is the passenger market is 5 to 6 times bigger than the cargo. So we're already a very significant player in the cargo with we have the largest range of products in terms of battery tech and different weight category and different speed. We are going to be coming up with a very large carrying capacity three-wheeler, which I'll announce very shortly, which is testing right now. And in the passenger side, we've also come up with vehicles. Multiple. We at the auto show, we showcased India's first air-conditioned, which is Muse, which production is going to be happening in the next 3 to 4 months. It got delayed because AI 156 1 and 2, but multiple products are in the very near future.
Okay. Omega Seiki Mobility's tagline says makers of revolutionary electric vehicles. And in the four wheeler segment, you have M1KA, M1KA 1.2. So when can we see those products? Because I see a lot of potential in supply chain industry, which can use those vehicle, and in transportation industry. So when can we see those vehicles?
Absolutely right. Spot on. This is an extremely important point. That 1 ton category, which is the Tata Ace equivalent, which is about 4 to 500,000 vehicles. And this is not a product just for India. This could be a product for Africa, for Asia, and even I know you've got a lot of your fans out in Europe. This product, which is doing 180 kilometers on a single charge, 1.5 ton weight, air conditioned. Nitin Gadkari ji just talked about making it air conditioned, necessary in transport. We already have that, right? We have been testing with everybody. The key part is there is no subsidy on the trucks. So the value, India is a very value conscious market. So we are coming up with a fixed battery, a swap, a fast charging. So what we've done is we were ready to launch it, thinking that there would be some subsidy on the trucks, but there isn't. We have the 1 ton and a 3.5 ton M1K brand. So I would say the 1 ton is here in the next 3 months. We've gone back to the drawing board to enhance the battery tech and reduce the price because the logistics space is very, very price sensitive in this country.
Correct.
But I do believe if you see, Delhi has announced by 2030 there should be no non-electric, CNG's over, diesel's over. Chandigarh, Honorable Minister in Punjab has announced in Chandigarh there will be. So these are great things. In the south there's talk. So M1K 1 ton should be on the roads in the next 3 months. It's already we have the vehicle ready, but we're just changing the battery to make sure that the pricing is effective. And the 3.5 ton will be next year.
Okay. And I was just reading through the press releases and your announcement, and under financing is something which I saw you speak very openly in a lot of forums, and you have partnered with a company called Seekers for to finance your vehicles or this particular thing. I want to understand where is that partnership gone, and how do you see this ecosystem of financing, because that is a major challenge I see.
Absolutely. When we started this journey 5 years ago, there was no financing. I set up my own NBFC called Anglian Finvest. Okay, for me, I'm always looking to find solutions, not just give problems. We work with Seekers, that is done very well, but we have now aligned not just with Seekers, but with Mufin Green, which is a listed company doing huge volumes. And I'm very, very proud to announce we've signed up with Indian Bank, which
Okay.
is the first PSU.
Okay.
5,876 branches in this country
Okay.
will be helping with our financing.
Okay.
We have lined up with Shriram Finance,
Okay.
with Mahindra Finance,
Okay.
with Bajaj. There isn't a finance company as an NBFC. But what I'm really proud to show is our PSU banks, and I'm going to make a major announcement in about 10 days with another very large, one of the largest PSU banks in this country, which is going to finance our vehicles. Financing is most important because the vehicles that are being bought by the three wheelers and the cargo vehicles, they need financing to be able to use these vehicles. And I think we came up with a 6 year financing and a 6 year warranty on Race Bus Rapid Flow with another Bangalore based startup with Log9 who has done superbly. So, what I'm saying is there are multiple options today. And I'm going to say the government has done a lot. The World Bank just last night announced 1.5 billion on this. We've seen SIDBI aligned with World Bank and the Korean Development Bank to do this. We've been impaneled there. So financing is going to be something that's going to help accelerate the growth of EVs in this country.
Express is something which caught my attention, because uh, uh, I have a supply chain background. I used to work with different magazine in supply chain, and my father used to be a transporter in Odisha, so I understand transportation, warehousing. I saw the graph, and the way it has been explained, it's too much technical. I thought I should ask you, because the process where a transporter goes, and then the technology, the data centers, then the, so I want to understand what you are doing in Express. So can you?
Today, I want to say, we haven't talked about Uno Express. Today, it's one of the largest. It is one of the largest e-logistic company
Okay.
in this country, and this will expand. We are working not just with the e-commerce company. We are working with the FMGC companies. We are working with gas cylinder companies, water companies, curd in South, in food products. We are working in logistics space where we're not only providing vehicles, but we're providing the tech
Yes.
behind it. We're able to tell where the vehicles are, what the temperatures are, what's the battery, where are the charging infrastructure, where is the locator for the driver, the communication. We are making sure that efficient routing, if there's traffic, how do we efficiently route? How do we get the more bang for the buck? If your father was a transporter, earnings the maximum on the vehicles. And see, the key part of India is it's a very fragmented industry.
Yes.
It's not like Europe and the United States. Large fleets are running. So we are aligning forces with the fleet operators to give them an opportunity to enhance their fleet, to give them financing, to work with them, whether as a partner, whether as a business, whether they align with us. I'm reaching out through your media, any of the logistic players in the non-e-commerce companies that want to get in this space. Reach out to us. Uno Express will work with you, whether as a partner, whether as giving you vehicles, whether leasing vehicles, to be able to bring green energy. See, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yes.
And I'm hoping that through your channel and multiple people that are in this space, that they will follow. Uno Express is open to working with all logistic players. And I'm hoping that your father's territory of Orissa, we see more. And I'm going to reach out to all the players in Orissa to come up and reach out to us, and we'll find solutions for logistics, for green energy.
Thank you. It was great to hear, on the supply chain, which is my interest. To go to the another subject, what are the new technologies you are seeing coming up in EV charging? Because charging is something which every user is keen, when whether it's commercial vehicle, whether it's two wheeler, three wheeler. So how do you see this charging ecosystem is shaping up, and what all new technologies are coming?
Absolutely, charging is just as important because it's like we go to India's, and I mean, some of your a large amount of your followers are in Europe, but it's like going to a wedding. and the bride's not there. So, it's like we're dancing, but the bride's not there. So the charging info is just as important. We bring the vehicles and if there's no charging, then there's no wedding, right?
Correct.
So I'm sorry I'm talking about it because in India, this is a big part of our culture. And so charging infrastructure. So I'll tell you what we are doing. There's new tech in fast charging. There's a lot of work getting on in swap, right? There are charging infrastructure where OSM E-Link aligns with the people. Like there's a great company that I would like everybody called Quench that's based out of Pune. My friend Ravin Marjantani is doing some great work. Charge Zone is doing some great work. But in terms of tech, you're getting 15-minute fast charging. A company in Bangalore, Exponents, developing charging infrastructure. I think there has to be a sincere effort where it has to be a public-private partnership. We can't just depend everything on the government. We have to join hands with them. OSME Link, OSM is working with partners all across this country. But I will tell you, there's going to be swap, there's going to be fixed, there's going to be fast charging, there's going to be 15-minute fast charging, there's going to be new tech. We are working not just on LFP, we're working on NMC, aluminum air, LTO, so many different technologies. But charging is going to be needed across. And I'm going to say one thing to everybody. It's not just Bangalore, Delhi, Hyderabad, Pune. It has to be Sultanpur. It has to be Varanasi. It has to be other tier 3, 4, Muradabad. It has to be all these cities where charging. And I don't want charging only सूट बूट की सरकार के लिए नहीं चाहिए. Correct. नीचे के लोगों के लिए चाहिए. Correct. Okay, sorry, I'm using Hindi, no, but our public needs to know that there is need for this charging and new tech players in India. I would reach out to all the tech players in Europe and United States to join hands. India is the largest population in the world. It is going to be the third largest economy in the world. It is a nation that nobody can miss. At least anybody missing out, they're going to miss the train. So I would reach out to everybody, bring the tech, work with companies here. This is a country which is on the move. And I think electrification and alternate, not just EVs, but other forms of green energy sustainability are going to be happening. 31 of the most polluted cities are in this country, and we got to work on it. And I'm hoping that people like yourself, people like ourselves, and a lot will be able to be participating in this journey.
India is also a price sensitive market, and looking at the price pattern or price trend, I can say, do you think EV prices will go down, let's say by 2030 or 35, the pricing of the vehicle 20 years down the line, 15 years down the line?
Absolutely. It has to go down 5 years down the line. Okay. I'll tell you why. Scale. Scale brings everything. Battery tech is getting more efficient. Charging infrastructure. But the pricing will only come if we bring scale. And scale will only come if we all work together. As I say, it's a marathon. The Kenyans, I'm into fitness. In the marathon, the first 20 kilometers, all the Kenyans run together. And the last 6, everybody can go for themselves. So I think you're absolutely right. But I don't think the pricing is 20 years down the road. I think it's 5 years down the road. You're seeing battery prices starting to come off. You're seeing battery tech getting better. You're getting vehicles getting better. You're going to see individuals and consumers get more comfortable. My only question there is OEMs have to have responsibility. Do not put cheap cells. Do not put bad batteries. We all owe responsibility. I think absolutely with what's going on in powertrain batteries. I am going to say this to you. I am already working with my business going EBITDA positive without the subsidy, which means I'm already looking at a reduction of a 20-30% price over the next 2 to 3 years. And that can happen when we build in India the technology. You've got PLI schemes for cell, you've got PLI scheme for manufacturing. This will all lead, but has to happen with scale. And I think we can't ask everything from the government. We've got to be able to put a private-public partnership into this. Modi ji talks about cleaning India. Modi ji cannot clean himself. We all got to clean it, right? So it's the same way. So prices will come off. The infrastructure is being set up. Clusters are being set up. Tamil Nadu, Karnataka are leading that. I'm very excited to see that. And yes, it'll happen.
One thing, in my recent issue of Dynamic Manufacturing India magazine, we spoke because May was considered to be Mental Health Week. We got in touch with Dr. Nikhil Agarwal, the director and CEO of incubator of IIT Kanpur, and we have reached out to him that mental health stays neglected in the startup ecosystem, and we wanted to hear his views because since he is heading the startup ecosystem, And as we also see that mental health is something which is very important, and right now in startup ecosystem it's the least where people want to talk. How do you see mental health, and what are the advices, or you can suggest things to people or a company should look into for their employees in when it comes to mental health of a, you can say in OSM, you can give
Very,
it.
very important point. I think this is something that, um, the pressures in startups are even more intense. The pressure on all of us to deliver more and more is high. Mental health is a very, very serious issue. We have set up within OSM programs, helplines. Our CHRO, Nidasan, is working on programs where help reach out, consulting, having groups. You know, we've got to get rid of this taboo that having mental health is bad. In our country,
Yes.
if an employee talks about mental health, we look at it very negatively.
Yes.
So actually gets more pressure.
Yes.
What we have done is set up counseling. What we have set up is programs where if somebody has a
Yes.
problem, they reach out on an anonymous basis
Yes.
to get help.
Correct.
We are setting up doctors, and I would reach out where young men and women of our country have that feeling that asking for help is not bad. Only will we improve together. And I think this is something that I'm so glad that you brought up. I would reach out to all the big organizations, the big corporates of this country, and all the medium and small companies that please put programs, just like I help in
Yes.
your health policy,
Yes.
put a program for
Yes.
health needs, of mental health needs
Yes.
of our employees. This is very critical, specifically for all the people that are working at a very, very fast pace under a lot of pressure to deliver.
Thank you. Thank you. Speaking in length, sir. My last two questions. One, I wanted to talk about the PLI schemes or the uh, 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 discounts or some uh, the side, some the monetary benefit for the EV users which government was giving. Right now, I don't know what is the status. So, how do you see this is helping, or it's a challenge right now for the EV buyers? A, B, for the EV manufacturers, like you.
I would say, and I'm going to be very direct about it. I want government to
Okay.
have a pretty clear policy.
Okay.
See, with fame, we've had violators, and that's very wrong. But
Yes.
I'm going to only say one thing. If one person or two-person go and blow the red light, doesn't mean all of us are bad.
Yes.
So I think all I'm going to say on this is the PLI schemes are fantastic. But what I want is a government to have a stable policy. Investors like me have put money. I've not taken money from PE funds or anywhere. I put my own money. I want stability of policy. Yes, there'll be violators. Make sure they get penalized.
Yes.
But have a stable, because a business, if I put money for a 20-year or a 30-year cycle, I don't want policies like this. And I would recommend a straight, you want to give subsidy, great. You don't want to give subsidy, great. Make it clear. I think it should help. The PLI schemes are good. I think we should help in the initial stages. I don't think any business is successful that is dependent on a crutch. I think we won't be able to get subsidies like the United States or Europe. So I think it'll make us stronger. But I think the schemes are good. But I want them actually activated. I think there will be violators, but I don't think one or two or three violators should stop that entire industry. I think we've had some stop start gaps. There's been a lot of noise in the system. It is, I will tell you personally, it has reduced the speed. It
Okay.
should, instead of increasing, it has reduced.
Okay.
And I think we want clear government policy, whatever it might be. And this is my only request. I think the government at the central level and the state level have done phenomenally. I see Kejriwal ji, I see Stalin ji, I see the state of Karnataka, I see everywhere doing great work. I want a stable policy, and I want a clear policy in every state, not just for the speeches, but in reality.
Okay. And will India become a EV hub? What do you see?
I'm a Martin Luther King follower, and his famous speech on "I have a dream."
Okay.
Will India? I have a dream that every vehicle in this country. And I'm going to say, I'm not, if you notice, I'm not only talking
Yes.
OSM, I'm not talking EV, I'm talking green energy sustainability. We want alternate energy.
Okay.
So should it be? Absolutely yes. Can it be? Absolutely yes. And my dream of a cleaner and greener India, I will give my last dollar, I will give my last breath. And I'm seeing many young men and women. I see you being so much, Meshmix doing so much work on it. And I want to thank Meshmix and your team. And I want to thank everybody. So yes, लेकिन as हिंदी में कहते हैं, अभी तो सिर्फ ट्रेलर है,
Correct.
मूवी तो बाकी. Thank
Movie.
you very much.
My last question, and then we will wrap it up, sir. Uh, Three things which, let's say, maybe the people who are currently using your vehicle, or people who are want to buy a vehicle of OSM, what three things they can expect from OSM when they are thinking in mind having a OSM vehicle? Three things.
Couple of things. Technology.
Okay.
Number two, safety.
Okay.
Safety, safety, safety. One
Okay.
life lost is too many. Because that life could be your sister, could be your mother, could be my brother. Cannot let it happen. And the third thing is service, TATs.
Ah.
Back to, because the commercial vehicles that we are working on, somebody's dependent on income. To them, a 500 or 1,000 rupees matters a lot. And I think we at OSM are working towards it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Uday sir, and look forward to see you at Samurai Awards, fourth edition in November in Bangalore. Thank you, sir.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you.